Hello everybody and welcome to the latest installment of the SledgeHammer Wrestling Show. I am Nick Nightmare, your host. And if I'm being honest, I don't even want to do this. I really don't want to do this today. Because I didn't want to be this guy. I didn't want to be this guy mad at the WWE all the time, frowning upon the creative, disapproving of everything. But they give me no choice. They give me no choice, you guys. I started this show with good intentions. It was created with the power of positivity. But last night's show proves that the WWE as a whole has no idea what they're doing. They got their head in the sand, and they're running around like a chicken without its head cut off. They don't even know what they got. I was going to do the stereotypical breakdown of the matches, give you my insight of each one, but there's really not much worth picking apart. So instead we're going to highlight the 4 huge mistakes that I seen, in my opinion, last night on Monday Night Raw, live from Corpus Christi, Texas, which in itself was a mistake, because you couldn't have lit that crowd on fire with a blowtorch. We're going to start right at the top. We're going to start with the debut of the Demon King. This is something that I was hoping that they weren't going to do. You took away everything that was special about the main event for the Universal title at SummerSlam. The biggest show of the summer. And you gave away its biggest mystery. And nobody will really know why. I'm going to hear people say, well, they wanted to bring up revenue. They wanted to get more subscribers. They wanted to get more people to do that before SummerSlam. That's asinine. It's asinine because the proper build to this thing has been ruined. If they would have done it right, there's a million different ways they could have done this. They could have still had the Demon King appear on TV, but in a much better way. You're trying to sell Finn Balor as a man with 2 separate characters. There's Finn Balor and there's the Demon King. So when Seth Rollins is in the ring spewing his garbage, the best thing they could have done is something they've done time and time and time again back in the late 90s and early 2000s with a character that I could equate Finn Balor to being The Undertaker. The Undertaker wasn't always there. He didn't always come out and show you what he was going to do to you or get in your face. They could have cleverly had a video package play on the Titantron, have the Demon King say something along the lines of, "You'll get your chance to see the Demon King, but tonight you must deal with Finn Balor." And then you hit the lights, the arena goes red. Finn Balor, not in his get-up, hits the ring. You let him beat up Seth Rollins a little bit. You would have scared the shit out of him. Because if Finn Balor, as Finn Balor, can give Seth Rollins a run for his money, then he's going to be shaking in his boots at the thought of what more this guy could bring as this so-called Demon King. And it would have been much more effective. And you would have had people intrigued to the point was, what the hell just happened? He was there on the screen, but no, he wasn't. He was really there, but that wasn't the Demon King. That was the Demon King on screen. Oh, we got to watch SummerSlam and see this guy, if you haven't already. So now, if you're catering to the casual fan who, if they don't know who Finn Balor is, you took away that special SummerSlam experience for them. You could have kept them in the dark for one more show. Give them a little peek on the screen. A lot of quick cuts and flashing lights and smoke. Don't fully show the demon. Maybe a silhouette, this and that, as you have already been doing. Then you have Finn Balor beat his ass in the middle of Raw ring. Seth Rollins terrified. Show some vulnerability. Give the people a reason to want to see why Seth Rollins might be more scared of Finn Balor now more than ever. But instead, what do we get? We get the Demon King entrance, the whole nine, wasted on a dead crowd, a lackluster shit crowd in Corpus Christi, Texas. And for what? And then you have them even fight in the middle of the ring. So now Seth Rollins has encountered the Demon King. They've touched. They were face to face. And in doing this, essentially, they ruined Finn Balor's big moment. The Demon should have debuted at SummerSlam. The pop of the New York crowd is going to be huge. Phenomenal. The energy that's going to be coming out of the Barclays Center is going to emanate right through the TV screen and infect the viewers at home. They're going to hear the crowd. They're going to see the entrance. And they're going to go, man, I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to feel that. I want to experience that. People who've seen it live would be talking about it. People who've seen it on TV will be talking about it. Those who missed it, they might actually be like, hey, maybe I should get that WWE network for just $9.99. So I don't miss shit like that. Amazing moments like that I could have watched and experienced live with the rest of the world if I had a network subscription. But instead, you gave it away for free. So what reason does anybody have to buy your network? Huh? They can see everything that WWE's got for free every Monday and Tuesday on the USA Network. The Demon angle for Finn Balor should be booked only at pay-per-views, similar to when he was in NXT and you pretty much only seen the Demon at an NXT TakeOver event. We're going to do a little segment now that we're probably going to do quite often at the rate things are going, which I like to call Booked It Better. If you want to get involved, you like what I say, you want to tweet at me, at Nick Nightmare, on Twitter, use the hashtag BookedItBetter. Let me know what you might think. Let me know what you think about what I think. The main event on Raw last night should have been Seth Rollins and Rusev versus Roman Reigns and Finn Balor. If you must insist on having Finn Balor and Seth Rollins make contact, you could have accomplished it this way. And let's not forget that Finn Balor beat Roman Reigns to earn his shot at the Universal Championship. So you could add that intrigue to their tag team formation. Can they get along? Can they coexist? All that. Possibly start to build on or hint at a future feud between the two over the Universal Championship. And there you go. I just booked it better than they did. Instead, we got what we got. And they didn't even have the decency to make that the end of the show. If you really needed to have the Demon King on Raw, it should have been the very last thing we seen as we went off the air. The eyes of the demon staring down Seth Rollins as the camera fades to black, and then we go to the network and watch Holy Foley. That's the way Raw should have went off the air if they needed the Demon King, which they didn't. They didn't. They messed this up. They messed it up big time. Instead, our main event is Roman Reigns versus Rusev, which we're supposed to see Sunday. But it's not for the title. No, it's for Lana's honor. Big deal. Who cares? Who cares? If the four of these guys were thrown into the tag match to end the show, and you held off the Demon King angle, and you just let Finn Balor feed Finn Balor one last time before the big debut at SummerSlam, you also would have freed up a lot of time for some of the other guys to actually go out there and perform for us, because, there were about 5 matches that averaged less than 2 minutes long. The New Day versus the Dudley Boys, over in 2 minutes. The Dudley Boys, the arguably greatest tag team ever, done for in 2 minutes. New Day goes over for what? Useless booking, terrible storyline development. It's just not coming together, and I don't know what they're doing. I haven't known what they're doing for a very long time. Reigns and Rusev, this main event went almost 20 minutes. 20 plus minutes. What are they going to do for us at SummerSlam that we didn't just see Monday night? What are they going to do to top that? You're talking about Roman Reigns. He don't have much in his arsenal. I feel bad for a guy like Rusev, who's got to work with this clown. This hammerhead's going to go out there and do what? Exactly what we just seen. The only saving grace, as I tweeted that night live, the only saving grace to me is that Roman got this win, and that I'm hoping he doesn't walk away with the United States title at SummerSlam, and Rusev goes over on him, gets his revenge, defends his wife's honor, all this nonsense that they're trying to build up in a 2-week time frame. So there's your first 2 big mistakes. The Demon King debut, and the match between Reigns and Rusev to end the show. And the next one, like I said, I have 4. So we'll go number 3, which might be just as big a mistake as the first 2, is what the hell are they doing with Sami Zayn? Sami Zayn comes out, he gets the win, albeit Cesaro interferes. And then Mick Foley books Cesaro and Sheamus. Not just for SummerSlam, but for the next 7 shows. No, I don't want to see it the first time. What should have happened, #booked it better, is triple threat match. It should have, the match on Raw should have ended in a no contest. Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Sheamus, SummerSlam, triple threat. Sami Zayn would have been placed on the card. Right now, as of this moment, he is still not on the card. And in that last moment when this whole thing was building up on Raw, I had hope. That Sami Zayn was now going to make his way to the biggest party of the summer. Make his SummerSlam impact. That we're all waiting for Sami Zayn to have that impact, because we know he's got it. He's pretty much the next Daniel Bryan in my view. And maybe that's why they're holding off on him. This quote-unquote backstage heat that we've been hearing about, I don't see it anywhere. I don't believe it. If he had that much heat, he wouldn't have went over on Raw. He wouldn't have won Monday night. But the WWE, once again, with a failed opportunity to add Sami Zayn to the SummerSlam card. And instead we get treated to this best of 7. Now, I like Cesaro, and to a point I could deal with Sheamus still. He's been around for a while. He was Triple H's boy, I get it. We're trying to push him, we're not letting him go. It's fine. It's probably going to be a pretty good match. But 7 times? At least even WCW had the common sense to make the Benoit Booker T best of 7 for something. This best of 7 series is for nothing. There is no light at the end of the tunnel for either one of these two. They're just going to wrestle for the sake of wrestling. There's no shot at the U.S. title at the end of this. There's no shot at the Universal title at the end of this. There's no entrance into the King of the Ring or whatever other perk they could have threw at the end of that. We're going to have Sheamus and Cesaro, best of 7, for absolutely nothing. The final mistake, number 4, is the failed reunion of the primetime players. Now, as soon as this played out in that segment with Bob Backlund, I already knew that they were swerving us and that this wasn't going to end well for Darren Young and that Titus O'Neil is going to be Titus O'Heel, and it doesn't make sense to me. When you have such a lack of depth in the tag team division, you reunite one of the more popular tag teams we've had in these last few years that would have definitely made the company and both of these guys millions of dollars. Especially if you were serious about the push and maybe even put the straps back on these guys again. Have them feud with Gallows and Anderson and The New Day and whatever other tag teams you want. Even Jericho and KO. Let that be a thing for a while. That's fine. We need tag teams, so you might as well just do it. It's working. Let it stay its course. Let it run its course. And see where it goes. Because we need tag teams. And you reunite a big tag team to split them up. These guys are going nowhere on their own. Even a legend like Bob Backlund don't have as much power as you think it does with this modern generation. They don't really give a damn who Bob Backlund is and what he says. Darren Young's going nowhere. Titus O'Neil, I think he has possibility as a heel, but it doesn't make sense. Father of the Year. They've been hyping this guy for the last 2 years as this smart, awesome, educated family man. Loves his children. I'm a family man. Titus O'Neil. And now he's going to be a bad guy. It doesn't make any sense. Especially, as I said, given the lack of depth in the tag teams. We could have really used the primetime players right now. And you gave it to us just to snatch it. But, as I said in my tweets that night during Raw, I knew this was a swerve before the end of the match even happened. In the interest of not being so negative, I'm going to tell you the 2, maybe 3 bright spots of the night on Raw. And the first one can be summed up in one easy sentence, which is, I don't give a shit about your kids. Thank you, Brock Lesnar. I love you, Brock Lesnar. I'm so happy that you took the mic and did that. It's out of character for you. You usually let Paul go. But that was priceless. That moment made seeing Heath Slater for those 5 minutes tolerable. It was magic. That was wrestling magic. Probably unscripted, and that's probably why it was good. Brock came off the cuff, made a few comments, made me laugh, made Heath Slater look like what Heath Slater should look like. And then Paul Heyman will go on and cut a tremendous promo and sell the shit out of this match. Because Paul E is greatest. One of the greatest managers, greatest mouthpieces of all time. I expected nothing less from Paul E. Always a bright spot on my Monday Night Raw. We had Big Kaz taking on Kevin Owens, their respective tag team partners on the outside. Your standard tag team rivalry build. No real winner at the end. Jericho gets involved, yada yada yada. Match is set for Sunday. I wouldn't be surprised if that match steals the show. Nia Jax, another bright spot. Always when she hits my TV screen. Big fan of Nia Jax, but I want this to hurry up because I need to see her kick some real ass. Nia Jax wrestled some girl with blue hair. Her name escapes me at the moment. I don't know, she was loaded with tattoos. But, Nia Jax squashed her. Probably made her lungs match her blue hair. 1, 2, 3. Nia Jax, again, another 2-minute match, however. But I want to see Nia Jax in there throwing down with the girls. I want to see Nia Jax challenging for that WWE Women's Championship. Hopefully after SummerSlam, they put a little bit of fire under her feet and let that girl go and let her take over the division and let these other smaller girls and the other very talented athletes in the women's division prove themselves against the beautiful Nia Jax. So we're going to end this off today. We're going to start wrapping it up. Like I said, not much more even deemed worthy of talking about. I was excited for SummerSlam. I'm starting to not be so excited for SummerSlam. Hopefully, the matches make it worth my while. I know for sure I'll be watching Holy Foley right after SummerSlam. Probably burn through all 5 episodes. The little preview they had last night was good. And you know what? That's what we'll talk about as we sign off right now. I'll get a little personal with you guys, let you know a little bit more about me. I have a guilty pleasure, and my guilty pleasure is reality TV. My wife and I get sucked into this crap. Doesn't matter what it is. We used to watch it all, man. We like to watch people ruin their lives, I guess. Or just watch people who are supposedly better than us crumble to the ground and fall. We were big fans of like the Jersey Shore and things of that nature. It all started right from the beginning with Survivor. I watched that Survivor shit. And we used to watch The Real World also way back in the 90s. That's really what kicked it all off. When you get sucked in, it's a guilty pleasure. I love it. So, when you combine the two elements of my biggest passion in life, pro wrestling, and my guilty pleasure, reality TV, and you get shows like The Legends House on the WWE Network, and shows that a 39-year-old man should not be watching, like Total Divas, and now Holy Foley to join the mix. We're going to have Total Bellas. Definitely going to be watching that. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for wrestling. I'm a sucker to know the ins and outs of the business, to see what goes on behind the scenes. I like a little peek at my favorite superstars' real life. So I love Ride Along. I would consider that a reality show, Ride Along. If you don't know what that is, it's a WWE short-form series on the WWE Network where they show particular superstars sharing a rental car and getting from point A to point B in a very entertaining fashion. So I look forward greatly to Holy Foley and whatever else they might have lined up down the line on the WWE Network. Not looking forward too much tonight on SmackDown. I expect more of the same that I saw tonight. I'm going into it with the power of positivity, keeping an open mind. But they don't have much to work with, and they only have 3 matches to build. Because there are now 7 matches for Raw, and still only 3 on the SmackDown brand side of the equation. But this Sunday, the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam, Saturday, NXT, Brooklyn Takeover 2. We'll give you all our coverage on that leading up to and after the events. And we cannot leave out my 2 favorite shows in all the WWE right now. NXT, Wednesday night at 8. CWC, immediately following at 9. If you're not watching it, you're crazy. You're crazy. You gotta watch this stuff, man. Especially if you're like me and you're a little bit jaded and you're a longtime fan and the main product gets you, grind your gears. Watch NXT. Watch CWC. It'll make you feel better about being a wrestling fan. And then we got tonight, SmackDown Live. We'll see what Shane O and Daniel Bryan have in store for us. And I will see you again tomorrow with a SmackDown Live review or recap, depending on how good it is. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow. I'm Nick Nightmare. Follow me on Twitter at Nick Nightmare. This has been the SledgeHammer Wrestling Show. Thank you again for joining us. Follow us at podbean.com for info and updates on future editions, specials, and weekly shows. And if you'd like to pledge your support to the show, you can do so at patreon.com. Just look up the SledgeHammer Wrestling Show, and you can pledge right there. We appreciate it if you do. Every cent that comes this way will be used to make the show better for you and for me. As I mentioned in our debut podcast, we got some perks and stuff in the works. Some stuff that we can give back to you for being so good to us. Have a great day. Enjoy SmackDown if you can. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.